How to sing with vocal distortion. This isn't normally something that I would put on a free YouTube tutorial. I would normally save it for my paying singing students, but I've seen lots of videos about this, and most of the videos that I've seen giving advice about singing with distortion are wrong and are going to hurt your voice. So I want to give you some pointers as to how to start to sing with distortion. Now, this does take some good proper training, and you really should do this with a trained, experienced and very knowledgeable vocal coach. So I wanted to share with you how you can do this safely without getting a sore throat, without coughing every time you do it, and without causing vocal damage. A lot of the people that I've seen making videos about this are saying to do stuff like cough and then clear your throat and do vocal distortion by using the same kind of thing that you do when you clear your throat, like and whereas it's kind of right, they're not really giving you a good place to start from, because yes, you can do it like that, but only if you already know how to do it properly without hurting your voice. If you were to start from scratch, or if you already have good vocals, trained vocals, and you want to go to distortion and then you just go for clearing your throat and trying to add it that way, you're more than likely going to cause some damage, and you would know, because your voice would become kind of croaky and raspy when you talk normally, and you would probably get some burning at the front of your throat. You never ever want that. If you ever feel burning when you're doing anything to do with singing, you know that that's wrong. That is a sign that you're not doing it correctly, and I would highly recommend going to a trained, experienced vocal coach who can help you to use the right vocal techniques for your voice. So singing lessons they're not really about singing nicely. They're about using your voice properly so that you can do what you want to do with it, whether that's sing beautifully and operatically, whether that's, sing quirkily and with your own unique style, but in a way that's good for your voice and healthy for your voice, or singing with distortion if you're a rock singer, or if you sing that kind of rough soul, bluesy soul, raw, singing with a raw quality. Christina Aguilera does that a lot. Billie Holiday used to do that. Millie Jackson, that's not the lady I'm thinking of. Mahalia Jackson. I don't know if it's Mahalia or Mahalia. Anyway, if you know that singer, you'll know who I mean. So if you're adding this type of grit and sound to your voice, you want to do it properly. Now, another thing that I've heard people say is just scream like a child. Ah! Like that. Ah! And again, I don't want to do that too much because I don't want to scare the neighbours. Now, again, you can do it that way if you already know how to scream properly without hurting your voice. That's not a good way to start, but you can work towards that. So I'm going to show you how you can start. You want to start by making sure that when you're talking normally or singing normally, you've still got a nice clear and clean sound, just like I have right now. You can start with a sound. So if you have a lower voice, you can start down here, like and you just want single notes. And you want to make it a really kind of strong and then you can just go up the scale. G major with an F sharp. Now what you don't want to happen is this. So if it becomes soft and drops to a kind of head voice, that isn't going to work. The placement has to be forward. So you must have that strong, buzzy sound. It's not going to sound nice. We're going for distortion, so none of it's going to sound nice, and unless you like the sound of distortion, like a lot of people do. But nice as in it's not going to be a singy tone. Okay, if you have a slightly higher voice, you could start here. And again, we're not going. And then if you want to go a little bit higher, you don't want to start too high with this really. You could and again, it's not. So you're not making the sound through with your throat, it's coming through your nose. Then you can move on to a more open sound that kind of continues. So like na, and then up here, na. And again, we don't want na, that's not gonna work, okay? So you must practice those. Then you can start thinking about adding distortion. It's a very, very drying technique, so make sure that you've got lots of water and keep hydrated. If you're finding that you're coughing and spluttering, you're not doing it right. So please don't continue if you're coughing and spluttering, okay? Check in with a voice coach. By the way, if you'd like a lesson on this, I am offering quick, short, laser focus lessons for only 20 minutes. So they are much more accessible if you are tight financially or tight on time. So you'll find the link in the pinned comment or in the description. Just book a quick laser focus 20-minute lesson, or if you want a full lesson, book the 20-minute lesson first and then we can get you onto full lessons, because I am very, very tight for time. My schedule is pretty much fully booked, but you should be able to find 20 minutes somewhere in the week. Okay, so once you've got that, then you can move on to the distortion sounds. So you're starting with an n sound. You want to sing, we're not singing, we're saying, you want to say na, na. All right, so you start with the na, clean, na, and then add the distortion afterwards. I'm not feeling it down here. I'm feeling it up kind of around here, but in the middle of my head. All right, so I can't really teach that properly on a video. So that's why it's very, very important that you get trained and, you know, get some help and some advice from a trained, qualified vocal coach. And I've been teaching for since 2003, and I've been teaching distortion now for a few years. So I hope that this has helped you. Remember to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and pass it on to someone that you think it would help. I want to make sure, I want to reach as many people as possible and make sure that you guys are not hurting your voices when you're trying to add distortion. I'll see you in the next video. Stay hydrated. Ciao!